Just want to ask you about last season. I know this was asked kind of throughout the year, but you went through the highs and lows of last year. Just wondering how much you feel like that kind of helped you mentally, just kind of the mental toughness aspect and all that.
Yeah, I think it's huge. Anytime you face a set of adversity, it strengthens you. I think definitely stronger for having gone through what I gone through at the beginning of last season. Coming in here, getting fitness testing done, kind of being able to compare to where I was at last season is encouraging for me. So, I feel good.
Kind of answered it a little bit there, but I was going to ask you about the different feeling right now compared to a year ago. Just, knowing where you're at physically, having last year kind of behind you, how much different is the feeling for you personally coming into this year than last year?
It's a lot more comfortable. I think that's probably the biggest thing. When you feel like you're not at 100% coming into a new environment, trying to make an impact, it can be tough, and it was tough. This year, feel good physically and comfortable with the environment, the staff, the guys. So just honestly, overall, just really excited to get it going.
How did you? How are you doing?
Yeah, sure. What's going on?
How did you process that devastating Game 7 loss? How long did it take? What did you do? How'd you handle it?
Well, I think like anything, it kind of has fueled us. I think it's going to be a source of fuel and a foundation of work for our group to get back there. Obviously, it was difficult. We poured our blood, sweat, and tears into that season, into that playoff run, and to have it end the way it did, it's it's difficult, but the show goes on. We continue to fight to get ourselves back there and to come out with the result that we want.
Yeah, so I guess that's the follow-up, is how do you sort of, it's there, it's not going anywhere, so you got to use it in a positive way. How do you take that experience and find positivity in something that wasn't so positive in the moment?
Well, I don't know if you want to necessarily find positivity out of it. It is what it is. It wasn't a pleasant experience, that type of heartbreak. But more than anything, is you want to learn from it. There's a lot to learn from our playoff run and from our season as a whole last year, and so it's important to analyze it and learn from it and see it for what it is. And so I think that's kind of been the biggest takeaway is to learn from our lessons from the finals and from the playoffs last year.
Connor, in the playoffs, your penalty kill was outstanding. I know you guys talked about just the unity and the continuity you had. You're going to have some new defensemen. Ceci and Dehart, Broberg are gone. How do you work on that continuity from the forwards to the defense, and how long do you think it takes to get, I don't know if you can repeat it, but to get similar to where you were last year?
It's hard to say how long it's going to take. I'm sure there'll be some type of adjustment period with new guys. But I think it's communication is probably the biggest thing that's going to get us over the hump as quickly as we want it to, is to be open and honest about what we expect from one another. Hold ourselves to a high standard, just like we did last year on the penalty kill, and communicate. Whether where we want guys to be on reads, and so there's no gray area in what's expected of you on the ice when it comes to the penalty kill.
In the playoffs, you and I had a conversation. You're pretty honest about how the fact you just didn't use the word pop in your skating early in the season, just coming off the surgery, but then you got it later on. I'm assuming you feel that you still have it now. How much easier does that make training camp, preseason, the start of the season for you, knowing that you're capable of being the guy that you were last year? You're not coming in at 70, 80%.
Yeah, no, it's encouraging and exciting. Honestly, it's exciting to be able to kind of hit the ground running. And from a physical standpoint, we were able to come in and do some early testing and be able to kind of compare myself from where I was at last year. And it's very encouraging to kind of I know how I feel, and it's nice to have the concrete evidence to kind of say this is where you're at. And so it's definitely encouraging and exciting to get it going here.
Just to follow up to that, can you describe the difference between like your last summer and this summer in terms of training? I guess last summer, I don't know if you'd call it training when you were trying to kind of get back versus this summer kind of maybe.
Yeah,
actually trying to
yeah.
get ready
Well,
for the season.
last summer was difficult. I mean, with any rehab, at times there's, there ebbs and flows and how it goes. And, I was expecting to be at a better state than I was when I came in, and that's just the reality of the situation. So this summer, I went into the summer, obviously, through playoffs, everyone's got bruises and but a couple down weeks and felt good. And so I was able to just train and focus on power and focus on things that you would do in a typical off season. So, it was night and day to the summer prior.
Seemed in the back half or back third maybe this season, and then certainly the back half of the playoffs, you really kind of had this defined role. How do you feel about your place on the team right now, given that? And it seems like you have that line that you're probably going to start with.
Yeah,
again.
I feel good about it. I feel I feel I really fit this team well as far as what I bring as a player. I think that this team has had so many dynamic players, like obviously our power play and things like that. But I think the things that I really pride myself in, whether it's positional play 5-on-5 and penalty kill is and defensive 5-on-5 and penalty kill, those types of roles are can really be utilized on a team like this. And so I feel like it's a great fit for me, and also just the type of guys that are around here. It's been really good.